build our relationships, build our health, get our finances in order, and many, many more things to come. All right. So let's get started first with a quote. I have this quote here. I'm going to share my screen. Go over here in 1 second. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And I like to start things off with a quote. Let me get my camera right here. Boom, bring that down. Bam. All right. So this quote right here is by Fixhugh Doxson. It's one of my favorite quotes. And it is, without goals and plans to reach them, you're like a ship that has set sail with no destination. I'm gonna say that again. Without goals, first you gotta have goals, and then you need plans to reach them. Without those two, you're like a ship that has set sail with no destination. I cannot tell you how many times that I've started off, especially in my younger years, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, when I wanted to accomplish something, but I didn't quite know how to do it. And not only that, I didn't even know where the hell I was going. So, hindsight now, when I look back at it, obviously it makes those things difficult because I didn't even set a target in mind, right? Now, that's the first thing we're going to talk about. Let me take a sip of water. All right. The first thing we're going to talk about is defining your target career, your target goal, your dream job. And we want to take that from idea to being specific. So, what I did, I created this web page right here. Okay. So, this web page is called Your Career Compass. And what the goal of it is, it's a step-by-step guide to help you like reverse engineer any career that you want. I don't care what it is. It can be medicine. It can be a pilot, engineer, teacher, lawyer, doctor, firefighter, whatever it may be. Believe it or not, these 6 steps will allow you to reverse engineer those things and put a plan behind it. Okay. So let's dive into this real quick. Let's get started. Step one, define. We talked about that a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to bring this up. Let me make sure you guys can see this. All right. Perfect. Step one, define your target career. Okay. We need to get specific. Now, when you're thinking about what type of career you want, I want you to keep a couple questions in mind. Are you looking to work remote? Obviously, 100% of us want to work remote, but maybe the job you want have hybrid roles. Maybe you want to work on site. I know personally some people who I work with on my team, they prefer to go into the office rather than working at home. So I think starting with that question first, what do you want your work environment to be? That right there will cut a lot of, careers out just by answering that one question. Okay, because obviously if you want to become a doctor, for example, right? I mean, maybe you can be a telehealth doctor, but most doctors work in office. Most dentists work in office. I mean, you can't be a remote pilot, right? So you're starting to get my drift. So the first question I would ask myself is, what type of work environment do I want to be around? Okay. After I define what type of work environment, then I'm gonna ask myself the second question. Okay, like, do I want to do something that's short term or do I want to go something for a long term? Right. Me personally, I always like to focus on long term goals because I believe long term thinking is where the money really is. I give you an example. I took a CDL class probably about a year ago. This is before I got into the sales role that I'm in right now. I was actually going for both roles at the same time. But when I went and took that CDL class, that class was about a month and a half, 2 months long. Okay. Now, with that, it could have eventually turned into a long term play to where I can buy my own truck, maybe be a contractor, maybe get some government contractors or something, uh, maybe Amazon Freight. But I knew that even if I would have became a CDL driver, that was not going to be a long-term career because the prospects 5, 10, 15 years from now, it has a glass ceiling. So you can get into those roles and you can be there for quite some time. So I decided that I wanted to do computer science. And not only that, I was not only going to self-study, but I'm going to go to community college, which I'm enrolled in now, and then I'm going to transfer to a university and finish my bachelor's degree. Why? Because I know with skills, certification, hands-on experience, and a degree, I can pretty much write my ticket and be able to control my career moving forward. Okay, so those are the two questions I would ask. The very first thing I would ask is, what type of work environment do I want? Do I want to work remote? Do I want to do hybrid work? Right? Do I want to go into the office? Do I want to be on site? If you work certain positions, sticking into the technology field, those, so if you have a security clearance, most of those security clearance jobs require you to go into the office on site every day. It's no, especially if you at a certain level, a classified level, you have to go into the office. Okay. So those are the two questions I would ask. All right. I need something long term, and what type of work environment do I want to be in? Once you get those two questions answered, okay, let's dive into it a little bit more. Specific role in industry. It breaks down. Go beyond tech and healthcare. Pinpoint a title like, I want to be a senior product manager. The industry is like B2B SaaS sales for AI solution company. These two, not prompts, but these two bullet points right here allow you to dive into that a little bit more. And this question right here, do you thrive in a chaotic startup environment? I've worked for a startup before. It's awesome. I like it personally, but not everybody like a startup environment. And define your ideal, see, exactly what I just said. Define your ideal workplace and your day-to-day responsibilities. Okay. Imagine your perfect work week. What specific tasks are you performing? Who are you collaborating with? What type of impacts, what type of change do you want in your career? So these questions, this page right here, step one, again, let me go back up. Step one, define your target. And you're working on the end product. So where do you want to be at the end of you executing this plan? This is pretty much what these questions are going to answer when you do step one. And your action item is going to be, once you answer these questions, write a detailed one-page description of your ideal career. Treat it as a job description for whatever role that's perfectly tailored specifically to you. That's going to be very, very important. What I want in a career might not be the same thing that you want. So this is all about you right here. This action item is all about you. Now, here is one of the things that you can do. Okay. If you're not like a writer, I have an iPhone, and on my phone, there's a notes pad. So you know how when you send text messages and stuff, you can hit the little speech bubble. You can actually talk out what your thoughts are, and then take that and plug it into like chat GPT or something, and make it a little more refined too. Listen, AI is here. Let's use the tools. Don't shy away from it. But that's one of the things I do throughout the day. When I have ideas, I just pull out my notepad, hit the voice speech bubble, get that thought out, and then I'll be able to transfer that later. All right.